You were supposed to be the chosen one, and then you had to post scat porn. In case you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, the stream title is something along the lines of like, wow, the tiddles didn't last long, did it? Or something like that. Or maybe you logged into Twitch a couple of days ago and you just saw a bunch of ass and a bunch of tits, and you were like, what the fuck? So what happened was that Twitch put out a new terms of service update, which was fantastic, and I was just really pleased. I think I said something along the lines of, wow, this is not something I had on my bingo card for the end of the year. Twitch literally putting out a terms of service that is better, because as we all know, as people on the internet who make spice of various, things. I make both comic spice and I make single illustration spice. So I'm always aware of where I can post things, how much I can show, and all of that stuff, because terms of service on different platforms are a fucking nightmare. That's like the short story. And it's been that way for many, many, many years. So seeing Twitch go and do this, what is changing with this new update? This is on the 16th, or was it the 15th that this happened, chat? I can't remember. I can't remember numbers. Some types of content that were prohibited will now be allowed on Twitch, if appropriately labelled. These changes include previously prohibited but now allowed with label. It was on the 14th, they say in the chat. Then on the 15th was reverted. Okay, thank you. Content that deliberately highlighted breast, buttocks, or pelvic region, even when fully clothed. Streamers found it difficult to determine what was prohibited and what was allowed, and often evaluating whether or not a stream violated this portion of the policy was subjective. Yes, true. This is what I've been saying a lot when we talk about terms of service on like the old platforms now, like Patreon, back in Tut Day, because I'm one of the very early adopters of Patreon. They had the very, very vague terms of service of like anything that you find potentially could elicit some kind of sexual reaction. And you're like, well, people are attracted to all sorts of shit. Who knows what could elicit a sexual reaction? So if someone just says, well, if you turn around, you have clothes on and your ass maybe is a little bit plump, but you're wearing clothes, you're not doing anything sexual, is that considered sexy? Like, is that considered like you're trying to elicit a sexual reaction from someone or whatever? And I would say that it doesn't, but whatever, that's a whole other thing. Anyway, so, in addition, the former sexually suggestive content policy was out of line with industry standards. And resulted in female presenting streamers being disproportionately penalized. It's been mentioned on Mastodon a couple of days ago as well. It's interesting that like they're still not really talking about non-binary people, but baby steps, I guess. And then we have in the little red circle there, because that's the thing that's mostly appropriate and like relevant to yours truly. Fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. There is a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly, I'm trying to read this from very far away, and this policy was overly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content. So yeah, so this thing made people very excited, me included. Obviously, I still didn't quite trust it, because I have been on the internet for long enough that I don't trust good things when they come, because they will always be taken away. Merry Christmas! Body writing or female presenting breasts and or buttocks regardless of gender. The Twitch attire policy already allows body art on breasts and buttocks, so this change makes these policies consistent. Erotic dances that include disrobing or disrobing gestures such as strip teasers. So So this whole thing was basically them outlining more clearly like what is allowed and what is not allowed. So what it was basically saying was you can draw nude things now. You still can't draw people, you know, fuck it. Hi, honey.
Don't mind me either.
Oh. Hi, husband. Right, so anyway, so you can draw nudity. So so artists can draw nudity. And like it doesn't have to be immediately considered sexual or whatever. Think a bit like, you know, the classical Greek sculptures and shit like that, yeah? So it's like finally you're able to draw like artistic nudity. You can draw tits, you can draw ass, you can draw the vajayjay and pelvic things. But what it doesn't say in that terms of service is people fucking. You can't put things into things. We can't be drawing hentai, okay? We can't be doing all of that stuff. A classic Twitch bias against chicken neckwear? What? What the fuck? Oh yeah, and it also had to be labeled. Thank you for reminding me. So you also have to label your stream sexual content so that it then puts it into the 18 plus category, which then means that it would not be shown on the front page. Which, again, totally fine. That's how Patreon's been doing it for ages. Like, if you are labelled as 18 plus, which I have been on Patreon since forever, I am not visible. You have to, like, find me with a link and stuff on there. Hentai... Oh. Get out. Fucking suck.
But don't forget to sub before you go.
After the giant modelled dog dongs, these are things that I missed. AI nudified art, yeah, people using that same AI to do it to children. People posting scat content, it was a shit show, literally, wasn't clearly defined at all, and the entire category became a dumpster fire. Yeah, I have opinions, but that's some of the stuff that happened.
What category?
The art category, I assume. Parabellum. I am a walking sexual reaction. Rat freck. As a person with sizable buttocks, the idea that my neutral self is just sexual because someone else likes round butts is so annoying. I know. See, this is one of the things that, like, I was so pleased when they like labeled the terms of service much more clearly. So they were like, look, you existing doesn't mean that we're gonna like ban you anymore. Because again, female presenting like body parts aren't considered sexual anymore just for existing. And I was like, thank you. You might be able to wear a low cut top and people won't ban you. I love it. Thank you very much. But yeah, obviously we can't have nice things. Is the twerking video still on the art category? It's horrible. I haven't seen. So, okay, anyway, so what happened was that because people went fucking bananas.
Oh, you definitely can't do that.
They went in and, as Parabellum said, they were doing all of those things.
You have returned.
Grimthorpe. Still here after 15 months? You must be a good streamer. Do you think so?
Grimthorpe just resubbed for 15 months.
Either that or his beard is a good salesman.
You must be a good streamer. I Reddator his beard is a good salesman.
Salesman.
Sometimes I look around in this household and this marriage and I go, I'm still here after this many months as well. So I can relate.
Bye, honey. So, people went bonkers and they did all of those things in the art category. And during this time, I was going to stream the VTuber art that I was mentioning earlier. But I was like, I actually just looked into the creative channel tag thing. And I was like, I ain't touching that right now. Because it was flooded. When I looked personally, it was flooded with a bunch of anime boobs. But like, you know, more hardcore than what you'd usually see. And it was flooded with just twerking videos, like so much twerking. And by the way, I don't mind twerking. But there was so much twerking videos. And then you'd see, like, you'd go down and you'd see just like tits, tits, ass, 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 tits, tits, dick, dick, ass, 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 and then C-Not Bush at the bottom. Just trying to sculpt, like, I don't know, a World of Warcraft something. And I'm there like, oh my god, C-Not Bush. I felt so fucking bad for him. But yeah, anyway. So I looked at that and I was like, I believe I said on Mastodon at the time that I am not going back on Twitch until everyone has got their nipples out of their system, because people were wilding out and I didn't want to be caught in any kind of crossfire with that. I also started hearing that people were getting mass banned. This is just shit I've heard, by the way. I don't know if this is true, but I heard on the grapevine that people were getting, like, there were mass bans just going out. People were being hate raided and people were being bot reported. Even if they weren't doing anything, they were still being bot reported. So like there was just a flood of like hate raids, reporting and all that stuff. So it was just a shit show. And I think that at that point, what you probably would have needed, this is just an outsider looking in, okay, is you would have needed a lot of staff that are very well paid and competent and good to sit down and do moderation, because you would have had to have known, right, that when you as a platform are suddenly allowing nudity, which I love, by the way, love it, but you must have realized that people are gonna see what they can get away with immediately. People are gonna start pushing the boundaries immediately, because some people on the internet are fucking weirdos and assholes. And they're just going to try to ruin it for the rest of us who just want to be drawing things. I think that people who were like moderators on Twitch, staff members, were probably over flooded and overworked with trying to keep this together. Now, obviously, again, I don't know. This is just me speculating like crazy. But maybe I'm wondering if Twitch just does not have enough staff to do moderation. Because with this kind of thing especially, you can't have automated moderation, because we are talking about something that is, you need to have a human actually looking to see if something is considered sexual or not, with this new terms of service. So like you need to have all hands on deck with all staff, because I think as well, at least the first few days of a major new terms of service rollout like this, you're gonna have a lot of stuff happening. So you need to be really keeping an eye on it. But what happened instead was that we got, what, 24 hours or 48 hours, chat? I can't remember. We got like, what, maybe a day of this. And then they immediately went, nope, we're out. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Of course they don't have enough staff. Like, part of me, I mean, I keep hearing about staff being like laid off everywhere. So it was like in the back of my mind immediately, they don't have enough staff to deal with this. And, you know, what are they going to do? They're just going to pull it back. So before we go through their newly amended thing, which I also have in front of me, I'm just gonna step up on a little soapbox for a moment. I hope you don't mind, because I have feelings about this and I would like to express them while wearing a little Santa hat. Also, you need more for content that can be disturbing. Yes, exactly. Automated moderation means Twitch ends up like TikTok and starts banning people for even innocuous things. Yeah. I believe, I mean, YouTube is like a whole different beast, but I believe YouTube has a lot of automated moderation as well, which is why people have to censor how they speak on there and even censor how they use words on screen. I mean, that's been going on for years and years, where they had certain words that were not in any way bad, but they were, through these automated moderation tools, they were considered bad. So if someone had the word lesbian put into a video, not in any sexual way, just existing as a lesbian person, they could have their video demonetized. And other terms like LGBTQ terms could get you immediately demonetized. I'm not sure if that has changed now, but there was a whole video about that as well by Nerd City, I think, a few years ago. So, you know, if you leave it to automation, who do you think are gonna get immediately fucked over by this? It's the gays. Like, any kind of minority is gonna get fucked. So, yeah. Anyway, do you think they're going to try a new, more open policy again? No. No, I don't think so. And for other people in chat as well. Nope, not in a very long time. Highly doubtful. I doubt it. Advertisers made their opinion known. Such loosening will never happen again. Nope, I don't think so. I think they tried. They didn't have enough resources to deal with it, and they are being, again, this is just my, I don't know, I'm just speculating. They probably were being pressured by Amazon and advertisers, and they were like, whoop, oopsie. This is totally going to be used as a "we tried and you fucked it up" excuse in future. Yeah. So, my opinion on this, okay, and you are more than welcome to disagree with me and have a go at me in the chat if you think I'm being weird. My opinion on this is that, first of all, the practicalities of it is that we don't have enough staff on this platform to deal with this, and trying to put this out and then not dealing with it properly is what really, really fucked it. I think that if they'd had enough staff, like more staff who were moderating this, they could have tackled it. And I think we could have dealt with the hump of like people being fuckheads for 2 days, 3 days, and then it's gonna settle once people, you know, get banned and we get all of this, you know, properly going. So I think that the main failure, obviously the people as well, we'll get to that. But I think the main failure is the fact that the platform itself just doesn't have enough staff who can do moderation to this degree when you have this big of a change in the terms of service. So it just went to shit immediately. They couldn't keep up with it. So part of me feels really fucking bad for Twitch staff who were sitting there going, probably sitting there, I don't know, I don't talk to them, I don't know. But they were probably sitting there going, oh my god, there's so much ass. Oh shit. Which ass is good ass? Which ass is bad ass? Oh god. And no, now there's scat content. That's not good. Like that, yeah, that must have been a shit show to deal with. The other thing, again, with moderation on any platform is that you have to be trained for it, and it's a really stressful job. It's very intense, and if you're a moderator somewhere, you have to be like the first kind of port of calls kind of thing. You see some horrible stuff. Especially, I believe, people on Facebook who moderate Facebook, I've heard, have to deal with seeing some really, really fucked up shit, okay? So I think getting more moderators who are trained and get support is really kind of one of the things I think would have helped this situation. Now we'll get to the people, okay? Now, okay, we know that most of the time there are a lot of young people and old people. I'm not saying that just because you get old you become more sensible, but like just people being trolls and idiots on the internet, and they don't really think about what effects that has. People talked about, you know, how certain types of like harassment and trolling is really bad, and we all know that. We don't have to go through that again. But with this, what you essentially did was really fuck up something that could have changed how the big platforms work on the internet, because over many years it's becoming more and more puritanical. Is that how you say it? Like, it's becoming more and more difficult to exist on the internet as someone who, again, is I'm not sorry to bring out all the labels, but someone who is queer, you know, femme presenting, who draws hentai and stuff, who draws YouTubers, not YouTubers, sorry, who draws VTubers kissing in the nuddy. I'm looking at it right now. I can't show it to you. It's becoming harder and harder to exist on the internet because of all of these walled gardens of platforms, and all of them have got really bad terms of service stuff. But this was a moment where we could have had it, guys. We could have had it. Maybe if you could have kept your fucking dicks out of the pie just for a second, we could have possibly had something good. This could have been the start of making the internet easier to be on. And you could have had, if you're someone who enjoys porn, which obviously you must do because you were posting a lot of it on this platform, if you hadn't done that, in the future, you could have had more porn. There could have been more people who choose to make porn comics and other things, drawings of weird fetishes that you could have enjoyed because they can live on the internet again. That would have been great, wouldn't it? But no, you had to bring out all of the shit, sometimes literally, and fuck it up for everyone. So that's one thing where I'm just like, can we not, like, for one moment, realize that what you're doing is also shooting yourself in the dick with this? Because think of all of the people who, I talked to quite a few people who want to make hentai. They want to make, like, spicy things. But literally, because of the way it is right now on the internet, they don't fucking dare to. Or they don't want to take the risk because it's not fucking worth it. You fucked it up. You could have had all of the fucking inflation fucking balloon porn you wanted. We could have been fucking all of the jelly pies. But no, you just have to troll because, again, I guess that is more lols for the moment, just to fuck around. So that sucked. And then on another level, this is just me overthinking this, so I'm fairly sure that whatever I'm going to say now is completely wrong. But just go with it for a moment, okay? Have you ever thought about the fact that how you are reacting when suddenly someone says you're allowed to put, like, fictional tits on the internet? How people just lose their minds at that. Or how, you know, just having a clothed femme person exist. How people lose their fucking minds. It's almost like everyone is incredibly repressed because of the way, especially now, the internet is structured. Anything like, nude or whatever is immediately seen as forbidden and sexual and horrible and taboo. So of course people who are growing up in this kind of climate are gonna see that and be like, oh my god, that's so bad, because they haven't been taught that a nude body isn't immediately, like, sexual. Someone being nude doesn't mean that they immediately want to fuck you. It doesn't immediately mean that they are horny. Like, they can just exist. I'm sorry if I'm being too Swedish and too fucking European or whatever right now, but, like, can we not just have nudity? It doesn't have to be sexual. We can just exist. Someone might have a shaped body in a certain way. They might wear certain clothes. That doesn't mean that immediately they're, like, asking for it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that there's another layer to this that is worrying me in the long term, that the way all of these platforms are structured And think about the fact that a lot of young people especially are like kind of growing up on the internet. You know, you're growing up on TikTok, you're growing up on all that shit, yeah? I mean, I fucking grew up on the internet in a different way. And they are, in a way, even if they're not explicitly being taught, they are subtly being taught that a nude breast is bad, nipple is bad, ass is bad. They're just being taught that. And the fact that anything LGBTQ is also put under this special microscope of like, you're going to get demonetized if you say the word lesbian. So again, because kids aren't stupid, they're going to internalize that and be like, I'm bad. Which you don't want that. So I think that this is just another side effect of how the internet has been structured for the past, I don't know, 15 years, something like that, where because everything is closing off, everything is becoming much more controlled, so you can't show anything. You have to be very clean, very squeaky, and you can't show any nudity, even if it's just artistic. You can't show it. So when you have this moment of Twitch going, you can show it, everyone loses their minds. Because they're like, holy fuck, let's show all of the scat. So, yeah, that's just what I personally think is like one of the underlying reasons why people are losing their minds. Because they just think like that. And it's kind of sad. And I wish I knew how to fix it. I think that if we had managed to not fuck this up, I think that Twitch could have been onto something, and long term, if Amazon or whatever hadn't, rolled back on this, advertisers, you know how it is, if they hadn't rolled back on it, then we could have slowly maybe started changing opinions on just nudity in general and different types of people. And that would have been really nice. I'm going to read the chat, but we're going to take a little ad break because I think the ads are coming up now, which is good because I need to drink this tea before it goes cold and I need to calm down because I'm anger. I also haven't even shown you the newest policy. We'll get there. That'll be the last thing we do. As soon as someone went over the line, others jumped on for the jump in views and money. Yep. It's not just the Christian conservativeness, but also the higher risk of chargebacks and theft when it comes to sites selling sexual content. You can actually get Visa and MasterCard to process payments, but it costs way more per transaction. Yes, and by the way, Thief really knows what they're talking about when it comes to this kind of stuff, so 100% trust their opinion. I'd be willing to bet that people involved in moderation flagged up the likely issues and were ignored. From the end of Twitch's update apology, which suggests Twitch's decision makers are either detached or incompetent. And here's a quote: "While I wish we would have predicted this outcome, part of our job is to make adjustments that serve the community. I apologize for the confusion that this update has caused." Okay, we're gonna go through their rollback and read that because I haven't read that. That's interesting. My friend runs PTSD workshops for photojournalists, and Facebook are approaching them for help. Wow, I didn't know that. Your friend is very good. But yeah, I think a lot of times people don't realize that moderators have to deal with a lot of stuff. So you need to especially give them mental health support. Not only just practical support, but also mental health support, because they are going to be looking at a lot of intense stuff. And they need to be able to deal with that. Everything must be monetized, which means relying on advertisers, and advertisers flee from sexual content. Yeah. Also, Twitch could have given it another day or two for everyone to chill. Yeah. The fact that they rolled it back so fast is the thing that makes me kind of go, Like, they must have realized that people were going to test it. But again, if you don't have the means to deal with the testing. Another great thing about Mastodon? Oh, the fact that there are no ads. I know, I fucking love it on Mastodon. The only problem is that obviously I have mine set so that I see all content. I don't bother with the blurring filter for sensitive content. So if I happen to be on my phone and I have Mastodon up, sometimes porn can just pop up on my phone, and my poor husband has had to witness holes that he did not want to see. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. So yeah, you know, you can tailor Mastodon to suit your experience. Oh, we did live drawing for a stag do, where the stag was the model. It was so lovely and affirming and loving. Nudity is good. I've never heard of that before. That's so cute. The issue I see is that there needs to be a separation. Saucy stuff does not belong in the general art category. A separation along with stricter categories would have solved so many problems. Then we can have non-sexual nudity and saucy stuff, and the people who want it can go to the appropriate tag for what they want. Yes. I am a firm believer in like putting content warnings or whatever on your stuff. So, and you know, tagging your things. So absolutely. So you would be able to be like, okay, I'm going to be drawing some saucy ladies kissing each other with their tops off. I'm sorry. It's so there right now. So I'll be like, okay, this is nudity, but it's also kind of saucy. So I would put it to the relevant section. Whereas if I was doing just like a nude model that was not doing anything saucy, then I would be able to put it on the general art category. And also being able to put like tags on your stuff, which makes it strictly 18 plus. So that means that it should just not be on the front page. Very good. I'm all for that. Just having it separated in a way, I'm in. Like, it's totally fine. LGBTQ is doubly damned, being tarred as inherently sexual and indoctrination by reactionary culture warriors. Yeah. Fine with a warning tag. I'd argue life drawing does not belong in a general art category. Fine with a warning tag on it. Yeah, I think as long as you have a nudity tag, fine. Just allow it. Have it under a tag. Totally fine. The internet brainwashing is super strong, hearing people use algorithm-friendly language in person because they hear it so often. Yeah. Oh my God. So I've started saying stuff like, if I'm referring to essay, I will just say essay. Or if I am talking about someone being not here anymore, they would be unalive. Because you can't say dead. So you have to say they were unalive. Which is just ridiculous. The separation of categories would help send signals that not all nudity is sexual. Yeah, because all of this stuff, even if no one says it outright, that kind of, it sticks in your brain. So you kind of go, okay, so that's the nudity that you're learning, the form. You're learning about light, how lighting hits a body. You can just appreciate a body without wanting to fuck it, you know? All of that stuff. Lovely. And then if you want to see the spicy stuff, you just go to the spicier tag. How do you separate nudity from porn, though? Like, where is the line drawn here? I'm of the opinion that porn shouldn't be everywhere, and the line between nudity and porn is very hard to set. I mean, yes, no, porn shouldn't be everywhere. You shouldn't put porn in children's books, stuff like that, obviously. But this is, like, for me at least, just the question of a lifetime, innit? I think I did a comic on this ages ago, where people were talking about what's the difference between porn and erotica. Because porn is just seen as like dirty shit, vile, horrible shite. Whereas erotica is more like the classy side of porn. So for me, it was just like, oh, erotica, yeah, someone's nude and it's a bit spicy, you're not touching places, but you're not showing the asshole. If you're not showing the asshole, it's not porn. So for me, it's like the asshole rule. Are you showing the hole? Porn. Are you being all floaty and like, you know, cute about it, but you're not showing the hole? But you know the hole's there. And you know there's stuff going in there, but you're not showing it. Erotica. But yeah, absolutely, they shouldn't be everywhere, of course. But like, there is not like, for me at least, there is not like a on-off switch. Like you just go, either you have nothing or it's everywhere. I think there is nuance to this. So I think that it begins with stuff like this. Terms of service could have been there, where it could have been like, look, we can have people drawing booba, that good, that not porn. People drawing booba, even if it is a little bit saucy, that not porn. But when you're putting, again, this was kind of in their terms of service, and it's also kind of how I see it. Your mileage might vary. If you are putting things into things a lot, repeatedly, porn. Okay? Doesn't have to be a living flopping dingus. It can be other things putting into other things in a sexual manner, porn. Because now you are doing the sexual act. That's just how I see it. You might see it very differently. Some people think it's pornographic to show knees. So like, some people think having a cleavage is pornographic and obscene. So, stuff that I might find vanilla, other people might find hardcore. Stuff that other people might find vanilla, I might find very hardcore. But I think there are just the basic levels here are like, where I think the line is kind of drawn is putting things into things and being very porny about it. That to me is porn. And no, you should not have that everywhere, because that is obviously spicy. But again, yeah, but you need to allow something, because what we are doing right now is pulling everything back and making it more and more difficult to exist at all. Even if you just have like a little nip slip, it's like, oh my fucking god, banned. It's like, it's just a nip slip. Why are people frothing at the mouth at just a nip slip? It's because you just, again, in my opinion, you're just being kind of, it's almost like we're being trained for that, because like you don't get to see any of that. So the moment that you see it, it's like, oh, it's like the Holy Grail. Porn. Anyway, sorry. I need to catch up with the chat. Fuck. There is a clear difference between nude person and titillation. Yes. But also, this is where, again, I want to just slide in a little but here. Fetishes exist. There's a whole other discussion as well. I think the overarching thing here is consent. So you can have a really strange fetish, and that's totally fine. But the thing is that you need people to consent to be part of that. Honestly, when I first heard they were changing it, my thought was that it was just going to bring a lot of inappropriate people to Twitch, and I kind of like having a separation of Patreon for spicy goods. Yeah, I think, honestly, I think having the tag there, the other problem was that when they allowed it, people were not using the tags, apparently. So it was just flooding everywhere. But I think if we had just allowed it to calm down and made sure that people were using the tags, then people who are viewing Twitch can choose to not have that tag visible, right? I don't know, because I don't use the tags, because basically I allow everything. This is just how I use Mastodon too. I allow everything. But yeah, I think that you could have sort of just put I would rather not see the sexual content, please. Bosh. And then you don't have to see it. Which, again, is also how Patreon works, where you have, like, the separation there. So if someone is 18 plus on Patreon, you are not visible, unless they've changed it again. You are not visible to them. Like, you have to get a link. Nudist beaches, for example, are non-sexual. Yeah. I see stuff in art galleries that I would define as clear porn all the time. Can I ask, Fluffball? You don't have to share if you don't want to. Do you think a nude female body is porn? Genuinely, I'm just asking, because this to me is fascinating. Because again, we're all different, and I can understand if some people are maybe uncomfortable. I know people who are quite uncomfortable with nudity. I think that this is like a really good chat to have, because again, for some people, I would argue that to probably a lot of people in certain places where certain things are not allowed, they would grow up viewing nudity as inherently sexual. I think it's got a lot to do with how you grew up and what you were surrounded by. So, for example, I grew up in Sweden. I grew up in a very liberal place, like with a very liberal family. My family, like, we did nude sauna. Nobody cares. My mum could walk around topless. We don't give a shit. And it's not sexual. It's just a body. Who gives a shit? But again, that's how we grew up. And I think thanks to that, I feel like I, as a person, I am much more chill in general about nudity. We were in a non-religious household where people were in saunas and jumping into lakes naked, or, you know, just in like small trunks or whatever. Or, you know, you'd run out into the, you'd have a towel on, you'd be in the sauna, and then you'd run out into the snow, take your towel off, and you'd be naked, and then you'd come in again. You'd be like, oh my god, that's so cold, and you wrap your towel around yourself, and then you run into the sauna. And I personally, again, you might disagree, but I personally feel like that's quite a healthy way to look at things. But I totally understand if other people don't view things like that. But that's how I'm coming at this situation. And that's why I'm also so personally tired and frustrated by how my body and my art is treated on the internet and has been... Are you okay? That's my dog. Has been treated for a while. Well, for decades. Anyway, sorry. Twitch in general is a shit place for women. Yeah, so Twitch, I think it's getting better. Don't quote me on that, but it was obviously first kind of created as like a video game place, and there was a lot of boys, mainly boys. I think the main user base, I think, was like 70% just men. So if you are a lede coming over here, sometimes that can be seen as, you know, kind of threatening, or like you're here just for validation from men, which then means that obviously you must be straight, which then means obviously you're here to show off your tits so you can get money, which obviously they see as a bad thing. But that's a whole other kettle of fish as well. that's just classic sexism. Everyone sees it as a meat market, basically. I've been told by IRL people I'll never make it on Twitch because I don't have big enough tits. Oh, God. Okay, another thing. Making it on Twitch is also an interesting thing. But that can be a different discussion. I would argue that being full-time Twitch is probably not good for you long-term, mentally. Because this platform is only for live streaming, so you have to be live, which I know people might not think is difficult, but if you have to be live as your job and that is what you have to do, forcing yourself to come on is probably incredibly bad for your mental health long term. So I would always suggest that if anyone has the goal to be a Twitch streamer and only a Twitch streamer, please have a plan B for yourself. Please have a plan B, because I think that you're gonna like really thank yourself in the future. I think a little while ago, I had to try to be live a lot because it was either I had difficulty with money a month, or it was because I set myself a challenge. My mods might know, where I was like, I'm gonna be live every single day for a month to promote a Kickstarter, I think it was. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I knew that I didn't have to technically do it, but I kinda did, they made it more difficult. Whereas this is very much like, I don't have to be live. In fact, me being live right now is me losing money because I need to go to work. But like, it makes Twitch streaming a really fun experience for me. And if people come in and they say you're only here because you're a woman who wants money because of booba or something, I'm just like, okay, good talk, bye. Like, I know, like, I'm not.
You have returned.
And even if I was, fuck you. Oh shit, I need to really catch up with the chat. Sorry, you're so interesting today. Fuck it. Hey Jen, did you break Twitch when the porn ban listed for 48 hours? I stay the fuck away, Hellbound. I did not come online during the whole time. Why there's so many furry wolf dongs? Make it stop. I love it when the furries were like, oh, is it on? Can we do this? Post holes on Mastel. Scoop! I cannot believe you have your knuckles on display right now. This stream is so filthy. Dirty. I want to clean your cups from the inside out. Oh yeah, Hellbound. I'm sorry, again, I'm never going to catch up on chat, but Hellbound says a very interesting thing that I was there when this was happening IRL in the UK. When the UK government were pushing obscenity rules, by the way, we have a conservative government, in case anyone's wondering, they came up with the idea of fisting with 2 fingers was justified, but 3 or more was deemed obscene and illegal. This is not a joke, chat. That is literally it. And also, you could spank, but you could not spank hard enough that it left any mark. So if you spanked someone and you spanked them a little bit too hard so they had a little red mark, illegal. Banned. Spank someone and it doesn't leave a mark, you're fine. Again, if you are comfortable sharing in the future, genuinely because I personally am a nosy bitch and I want to know how other people think, if you want to share something that you personally find, like, porny, you can. You can put it in the Discord if you want to. Because obviously I feel also, as someone who does work with this, that my sensibilities are not what other people who are not working with this, my sensibilities might not line up with them. So some stuff that I might be like, oh, that's fine. Other people might be like, you know? Life drawing was a great way for me to break the idea that British society has that nudity is automatically sexual. Yeah, life drawing is great. I feel like lately everybody just calls nudity porn even when it isn't porn. It's frustrating. Yeah. I think that I don't want to be all like grim about this, but I feel like it's getting worse on the internet now, which is one of the reasons why I'm not putting any effort into any new social media that isn't Mastodon. Because Mastodon is like the one place where I feel like I can actually put in effort and like my energy and I won't be banned. So it's a very good place for people like me who want to feel safe somewhere. I wish we had sauna culture here. People would have better body image. Yeah. I mean, even in like a lot of saunas now, and if you're like, you know, out in public or whatever, people probably aren't naked. They are probably naked, but like they're wearing a towel. For modesty sometimes. I don't know, it depends. But like people know why they're in the sauna. They're in the sauna to get very, very hot and not in the sexy way. I still remember my first life drawing class at college. I was basically hiding behind the easel. I felt so embarrassed. But a few classes down the line, I was really enjoying drawing the forms and the embarrassment was gone, at least in that environment. Yeah, like I feel like when I started doing the life drawing when I went to uni in the UK, for me, it was like, let's go, life drawing. But I did sense that some of the other students were like, oh, it's interesting. I've also been a life model, not nude, but I have been a life model. So it was very interesting. Motherfuckers. I really need to pee. I should have gone peeing when we had that ad break, but I just started reading instead. I'll be right back. I'm just going to pee.
One of the more striking features of Sweden and Norway is how much public drunkenness there is. I ended up dining in a Pizza Hut in the basement of the shopping centre. How many Swedes does it take to paint a wall? 27. What does a Norwegian do when he wants to get high? He takes the filter off his cigarette. What is the quickest way in Sweden of getting the riot police to your house? Don't take your library book back on time.
Did he take good care of you while I was peeing, chat? Right, okay. I am just going to scroll down and then we're going to go through the rollback terms of service thing, okay? I think the line for if something is saucy or not is what is intended to be. Yeah. Was it intended to be? Yeah. Like I've seen Philosophical Art of Female Solo Saucy Time, and as it was a statement of female sexuality separate from men, painted in a time when that was very taboo, I don't see it as erotic, but a drawing of a hand can be super saucy if it's intended to be. I really like that.
Kind of fucks all moderation off.
It does fuck everything up in a way, yes, but I like that. Absolutely. And also, that kind of then puts the whole, like, consent thing in the forefront. So we're just gonna pop up the rollback, okay? Okay, I'm going to read this now. So Husband, you need to stop reading your travel journal to Sweden, even though I wholeheartedly agree with all of it. Okay, so this is now after the whole twerking shenanigans, okay? Ready? This is by Dan Clancy. On Wednesday, we updated our sexual content policy. Our primary goal in making these updates was to make our guidelines easier to understand and enforce. Thank you. Perfect. Love it. Part of this update included changes to how we treat fictionalized nudity. Thank you. Love it. I make it. For years, through user voice and in conversations, we've heard from artists that our content policies were limiting. In making this update, we were trying to be responsive to these requests and allow the thriving artist community on Twitch to utilize the human form in their art. Thank you. Fantastic. We love it. So far, love it. Perfect. First, we want to make clear that some streamers, in response to this update, created content that was in violation of our new policy. We worked quickly to remove that content and issued channel enforcements. This is where we can't have nice things, chat. However, there was also a great deal of new content that was allowed under the updated policy. Much of the content created has been met with community concern. Okay. I would like more information. Which is that content and which community has had concerns? Is this the art community? What? More info, please. These are concerns we share. Okay, but I want to know what the concerns are, please. Upon reflection, we have decided that we went too far with this change. Digital depictions of nudity present a unique challenge. AI can be... Oh, good fucking God. As an artist, AI, it's not even fucking AI, but you know what I mean. Tech bro bollocks is just ruining everything. Everything. AI can be used to create realistic images, and it can be hard to distinguish between digital art and photography. So, like I believe Parabellum said earlier in the chat, that people had been using AI prompts to make essentially child porn on the site. That's obviously fucking horrific. They also had made, I think, porn of just people without their consent, obviously. This is kind of like this has been an issue for a lot of, again, female presenting streamers who have had porn made of them without their consent. This is a huge issue. But this is also something that has been made before the terms of service was, like, this is something that has been an issue with this AI bullshit for a while. And I'm sure that they've had some of this pop up on Twitch before, and they've moderated the shit out of it and removed it immediately. But now there was probably a lot more of it. Sorry guys. Right, let's continue. That is not for you. I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is that these horrible violations have not suddenly appeared because of Twitch changing their terms of service. They have been on the internet for a while. They've been an issue on the internet for a while. Anyway, so sorry. Are you gonna stay with us, or are you gonna move away? What do you want to do, my boy? Okay, bye. Right. So, effective today, we are rolling back the artistic nudity changes. Moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch, regardless of the medium. I'm a traditional artist. I am not allowed to draw anything nude. This restriction does not apply to mature-rated games. So, as usual, you can play games with insane violence in it, and sexual themes, but you can't draw it. You can't draw a boob. We're back to that. You can find emote-specific standards for nudity and sexual content in the emote guidelines. We aren't making other changes to the updated sexual content policy. So basically the thing that they removed was the thing that I would have been able to use. Yay! We are in the process of pushing out updates to our community guidelines that reflect this change. It will take a few days for both this blog and for the community guidelines to be translated. While I wish... Here we go, this is what Trooper Barra was talking about. While I wish we would have predicted this outcome... Mates. I am not in any way trained to be a person who works on platforms and does the Twitch stuff that you guys do. I am incredibly not trained. I'm just a loser who makes booby art and other types of art. But even I could see that this was gonna be a thing. What I predicted was, as I said on Mastodon, I'm just gonna let people get the nipples out of their system, and then when it calms down, we'll just get back to normal with these new settings. Brilliant. I'm excited. I just need people to calm down a little bit. Because with this type of change, of course people are gonna push it. This is why before you put this kind of update out, this kind of big update, you make sure that you have all hands on deck to moderate it. So how could you not predict it? I have a hard time believing that. Part of our job is to make adjustments that serve the community. I apologize for the confusion that this update has caused. So, we're back to shit again. Part of me is not surprised in any way. I've been on the internet long enough to just not be surprised. Anyway, the other thing that I have a problem with here. Much of the content created has been met with community concern. These are concerns that we share. Can you please elaborate what is the content that was the community concern? I would like to know. Community concern, so detailed, so comprehensive. It's a very generic sentence. Yeah, you're right. The way I see it, the community concern was the fact that people were flooding with stuff that wasn't permitted anyway. So they were testing the boundaries and literally doing stuff that wasn't allowed in the new terms of service anyway. And they were also not tagging their work as sexual content. They were not tagging their streams. So they were already doing stuff that wasn't allowed. So that should have just been a lot of moderation to get that under control. And then we can just crack on with the new terms of service and see how that goes. But you didn't allow that to happen. You came to the point where it was really intense, and then you just went, oh, fuck, and then just went back. For whatever reason, which I don't know, obviously. But yeah, this community concern thing, I think what they mean is the fact that they saw the art creative side getting flooded with stuff that was against terms of service. And they were like, oh my god, is this allowed now? And no, hentai was still not allowed. People posting, what was it, AI porn, not allowed. It was never allowed. People doing all sorts of weird shit was not allowed. So I can see the community concern for that, but the solution to that is to moderate that and to ban people who do that, because you're going to have to deal with that anyway, all of the time. I honestly think that that's the community concern. I don't think that the community, I don't know which is the community, because you're not telling us anything here, but if the community is the art community, I think that the actual art community, which I have been part of for 6-7 years now, that they are totally fine with nudity because it's part of art. a lot of the time. I would say the majority of the time is if you go to art school, you know, be prepared for life drawing. It's fine. You gotta learn your anatomy and stuff. If you want to do concept art, you need to learn your anatomy. Like, you should be learning all this shit anyway. And also, it's fun to learn. Not because you go into, like, an art school and you want to, like, fuck the models. You just want to learn what the muscles are. Like, come on. But yeah, so I think actual artists were fine with these updates. It's just that it was flooded with shit that wasn't fine. And then you panicked. And you pulled it all back again. And saying that there's now community concern. But you won't tell us what it was. So we're back now. Yeah, so now back to what it used to be, which is the overly puritanical shite, as usual, which we're kind of used to working within that framework anyway, which also means that I'm coming up to 2 hours, and I'm going to have to go because I need to do my job now, which I would have been able to show you, but, like, I can't. This is fine. There's no nudity, Twitch. She's just an aerial hoop performer, okay? There's no nudity, it's fine. But this, I'm just gonna put some censored stickers on it. But this was something that I wanted to work on, and I was really looking forward to inking this for you today on the stream, because I love doing this type of art, and I'm very happy that people actually trust me with their VTubers, so that I can do that kind of stuff. It makes me very happy. Thank you. But sadly, I can't fucking show you any of it, so, you know. I'm sorry that this stream was just me talking all of the time, but I think we just needed to have a little chat what's been going on this platform, because that was the biggest and most, like, relevant to this streamer terms of service change ever since I've been here. So I really wanted to talk to you about it, because we could have had something good. We could have been special, guys. It could have been good. Sorry, I'm so fucking snarky. I need to eat a banana, drink some more tea, and draw some tits, and that's gonna make me feel a lot better. I just wanted to talk this out with you without any real distractions. You were supposed to be the chosen one, and then you had to post scat porn. Why? We could have had a good thing.